Okay, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. A lot of things going on in the show tonight, but one thing I do want to address before we get to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, there's been a lot of news stories going on, a lot of news stories going along today, and some I didn't really know till later on, and maybe I should have made a video about separately. But one of the news stories I do want to address real quick before we actually get into the real review is the whole Jeff Hardy thing. Jeff Hardy, unfortunately, once again, was arrested on a DUI. This is his third DUI, if I'm not mistaken, to what I read. It's his third DUI. Apparently, his blood alcohol level was 3 times the limit. I think this happened today, to what I've read and stuff. I don't know if he was released on bail yet, but yeah, with Jeff Hardy, being arrested and everything, which, like I said, it's unfortunate it's happened again, which, in a way, I really shouldn't be surprised by this. But, at the same time, it does disappoint me that Jeff is in trouble again. Okay. And there's a lot to say about this because I'm sure it's a lot of things that's been, I'm sure there's going to be more updates coming on about this. But, I've heard about the whole Time Warner thing, apparently wanting him off the AEW promotion videos now. So now they are getting involved, top executives. And, it's a lot really going around. Like some even people saying that, maybe a lot of people owe WWE apology. Let's remember, WWE wanted him to go to rehab and stuff, but he refused to go. And I've talked about this before. I talked about it a few months ago. I believe my end of the year review, because when I heard about it last time, which they said it wasn't nothing, but just kind of going off the initial video with the whole him walking around across the crowd at that one show, I just kind of thought that was concerning. And I hate saying like it's all shit. Jeff didn't fuck himself up again, or is he? And I hate saying that, but it's like this. We all know Jeff Hardy's problems. We all know his issues with substance abuse. This has gone on for a very, very long time, which now has gone over the span of 3 different companies from WWE, TNA, and AEW now, which at this point, it is just ridiculous. And something is really going to have to give. I don't know what. I know some people will probably blame Matt Hardy for being an enabler because the last time Matt said everything is fine. And I'm sure he's going to wait now till maybe the smoke clears and he'll say something. But if something does not happen, someone's gonna die from this. Either Jeff or he could have hit somebody from DUI, going like say drunk driving. You could have killed somebody on the road, or he may serve jail time. I don't know. He may serve jail time. I'm not really sure. I think Jeff Hardy really just needs to get his shit together. I know I've said that countless times that Jeff needs to get his shit together, but this is just ridiculous at this point, okay? And yeah, I don't know who's around him or whatever, but somebody's got to do something. But a lot of saying now maybe WWE was in the right, and with AEW, some would say being more laid back. I'm not gonna go into the whole ladder match thing. I know I've spoken about that, but I don't think that has much to do with the situation or something like that. Because now is this guy even gonna show up on Wednesday to even wrestle, or is the match actually canceled now? Because with him getting arrested today, don't they got to be in a ladder match this Wednesday? I don't know. And listen, I'm a big Jeff Hardy fan. Okay, I love Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's been one of my favorite wrestlers for a very long time. That's like damn near my top fucking 5 right there. Okay, and like I said before, I shouldn't be surprised that this keeps happening. But at the same time, it really does disappoint me because when I hear shit like this with him, my first reaction is like, God damn it, Jeff, again. Like, God damn it. Like, you just shake your head. Like, it really disappoints you. I'm sure it disappoints many, many, many fans. Okay, many fans, including myself. So someone wonder, like Jeff, you gotta give Jeff Hardy one thing. This guy gets a lot of chances. Okay, from all the times this guy's fucked himself up from whatever type of drug or alcohol or whatever, Jeff Hardy always gets a chance in wrestling. It's like no matter how many times Jeff messes up, he'll be back in wrestling, and almost like everybody will kind of forget about it for a minute, and then at some point it's gonna come back again, and the cycle continues almost like a circle in a way. It just keeps happening and keeps happening. So a lot would think, is this gonna be a wake up call? I don't know, but 3 DUIs, dude. Come the fuck on now, all right? So, and some would say, what is Tony Khan going to do about this? Do you send the guy to rehab, or do he has to make the decision himself if he has to go too? And kind of like with Moxley's situation, or I don't know. Okay, something something. Like something's really got to give from this, because how many times are we gonna keep seeing this? Because what do they do now moving forward and stuff? Because this has happened too many times. It really, really has. So I get it. Jeff's gonna be Jeff and stuff, but somebody gotta do something about this. Because how long is this really gonna keep going? Okay, like literally, how long is this just gonna keep continuing with Jeff Hardy? So like I said, when you hear it, it's like you shouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, it's like I already just said before, it's sheer disappointment um when you see this. Okay, so all I can say is we'll see what we can find out next or whatever happens, and I'm sure a lot of other people. Like I said, it's probably going to be more details coming out in the coming days of this, but given initially what I've read, it's insane. It's just fucking insane. It's like, yo, who let this man drive in that type of condition? Like, who literally let him drive in that? So I don't know, man. I really not I really don't know sometime, but it's kind of crazy, man. I'm fucking wearing a Jeff Hardy shirt right now, so I'm still like the guy. Still want to be on his side, but he's got to do something. Okay, I ain't turning back on Jeff Hardy yet, but it kind of makes it hard being a fan sometimes when you think about it. But yeah, it's fucked up though, for real. So we'll see what happens with that. But I wanted to say something about that before we began the Raw review. Now, as some Monday Night Raw tonight, where were they at? Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, which we had Miz TV with Paul Heyman on there. Basically talking about Money in the Bank. Miz talked about he's cashing in Money in the Bank twice, taking out the champion. And, they can attempt to cash in on Roman Reigns, which Heyman says that person will fail. Okay. And, you know, the percentage rate of somebody when it goes to zero when it comes to Roman. Okay. And no one will cash in on Roman. Heyman says, Reigns will still be the champion. He will win against Matt Riddle again this Friday on SmackDown. And, with the WWE management for a stipulation to make this even bigger, he said. Matt Riddle came out with a slightly different theme, apparently. His music changed a little. Basically, Riddle talked about, Heyman said, set of balls or something. And Riddle says, how's your balls doing, Miz? So we're doing that whole thing again. But Matt Riddle says, Reigns going to find out this Friday what he's capable of on SmackDown when he wins the title from him. Heyman says, you got a lot of momentum, but it's going to stop, okay? I respect you, but you cannot beat Roman Reigns, all right? You don't have what it beats to beat its opponent. And, you need to hear about tonight's stipulation, apparently, because, Reigns wins this Friday on SmackDown, uh, you know, you will never get a title shot ever again. And this stipulation is do or die. Next thing the Usos came out right after the Street Profits came out then, um, and stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. But obviously, stipulation happening. I don't know if Riddle's still really gonna win, especially if you lose, you will never face for the title again. Most likely, maybe Reigns for the title again. But we'll see what happens with that. Um, Montez Ford went against Jimmy Uso. Good match, very enjoyable, good opener. Jimmy Uso went over clean. After basically putting his knees up. After Ford went for his his big splash from the top rope, and end up pinning pin, pinning Montez Ford for the win. So I guess Street Profits are still going for the titles, but the Usos getting a clean win right here, which is Jimmy Uso tonight, taking out Montez Ford. Seth Rollins was being interviewed by Kevin Patrick, talking about what happened with Cody Rhodes last week. And he says everything he meant to say to Cody Rhodes was genuine and everything, but he has been a virus who's been plaguing WWE since WrestleMania. And, he had to do what to do and take matters in his own hands. And he did it with a sledgehammer. And, Cody's, told you want to compete in a Money in the Bank ladder match, but with that torn pectoral tendon, that's not going to happen. He says you either adapt or perish in WWE. And I have no remorse for what I did to Cody, he said. And, I've never felt better than ever, and started laughing and stuff. But he says he's the greatest Money in the Bank cash-in person ever, and he's going to win it again. Kevin Patrick basically went on to say you're facing AJ Styles tonight, and Ron says yes, AJ Styles. He's gonna be a hell of a fight, but he's not on my level, okay? And I'm going to do exactly what I did to Rhodes, what I do to AJ tonight. AJ came from out of nowhere and just hit him with a forearm in and knocked him out of the chair, saying that was for Cody and stuff before walking off then. So not a bad promo from Seth Rollins, with the sit down and what interview and stuff tonight. And like I said, it's going to lead to the match with AJ later on, so we'll see what happens with that. Becky Lynch came out and was supposed to face Dana Brooke for the 24/7 title. Fans chanted Becky, by the way, and beat the living hell out of Dana Brooke, saying, like, you can keep your stupid title, okay? She beat the living hell out of her. I wish she would have taken the belt and destroyed the belt, or just won and never give it back to anybody else again. But like I said, she beat the living hell out of Dana Brooke, and said but she was right. No one cares about that 24/7 title. But I'm tired of being disrespected around here, and I'm gonna get that Money in the Bank contract. It's not gonna go like it did before. Um, and stuff, and then she's still beating up Dana Brooke. Oscar came out then. Both of them brawled for a second, but Oscar got the upper hand. Alexa Bliss's music hit in, which, Becky's still yelling and stuff. So, all right, you go do your match and everything. Alexa, stop, because Alexa talks. Alexa, stop. Alexa. Alexa, stop. Alexa, what's the temperature? Yeah, man, that's the degrees right now. Alexa, it always gets annoying. But Bliss, that's why I shouldn't say Alexa. See, that I'm saying again, it sets off that machine. Um, but it ended up with Bliss and Liv Morgan in a tag match against Dewdrop and Nikki Ash to see who were going to Money in the Bank. Why are we doing tag team qualifying matches now? But Bliss and Liv got the win, so I don't really got much to say from here. But still, why are we doing tag matches now? Kevin Owens went against Ezekiel once again, which match was okay, but it ended up being a count out due to Owens was, which by the way, first off, why is Ezekiel doing a damn Death Valley drive onto the ring? So like my co-host Kyle, you know, why are we doing this on a TV, a TV spot, and not instead of like a pay-per-view spot? That looked brutal to watch, by the way. But it ended up with Owen trying to get the stunner. Ezekiel hit Kevin Owens with a big knee, which Owens fell out the ring. Ezekiel tried to get him. Owens ended up throwing, getting out of the way to knock him into the post. But when they kept saying Ezekiel, he says name's Elias. Name's Elias. Ezekiel won by count out. Owens started yelling in, but Ezekiel said, the Zeke freaks and stuff, and that his brother Elias will be back on Raw next week to do a concert, and they will walk with Elias. How are they going to do that? I have no idea, but we'll see what happens. And stuff. Next, I know they did so from Friday. I know John Cena, going to Ukraine, I believe, helping that family out. That was still a cool thing to see. MVP and Omos were out there. MVP talked about Cedric Alexander, saying, I'm tired of him. All right, you need to stay where you need. You've been trying to get to the top, but you got to go back down to bottom feeders, which MVP ended up beating Cedric Alexander clean, by the way. Hit him with the the ball and elbow thing, and then the playmaker and won. I'm like, wow, he beat him clean. Cedric, man, not a good look for Cedric right now. Um, AJ Styles went against Seth Rollins was obviously the best match of the night in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Best match out of the entire show. You with these two, you're always gonna get a great match. With AJ trying to go for the Styles Clash, but Rollins ended up, rolling him up and holding on to AJ's bad leg. He worked throughout the match. And Seth got the win, so he's going into Money in the Bank. Matt Riddle went against Tommaso Ciampa, which Ciampa got no entrance. Miz was on commentary promoting his show. Ciampa was beating the hell out of Riddle for a second, good minute out there, even trying to go for the fairy tale ending, but Riddle got out the way, hit him with the floating bro, and then hit the RKO for the win. Ciampa, you would say, yeah, he got a loss, but then again, it's like they don't know what to do with Ciampa right now anyway. He's just been attacking random people without literally no explanation. So Ciampa, I don't know. So I get it was a win for Matt Riddle giving his match this Friday on SmackDown. Bianca Belair Was out there for an interview to talk about Rhea Ripley. Talked about she's soulless since joining the whole Judgment Day. I still think they messed up this whole Judgment Day thing, but given I'm hearing the rumor about the whole supernatural stuff and the Edge didn't want to do it, can't say I really blame them, to be honest, if that's the case. But I still don't think it was a good idea, and it was still very random that they kicked the Edge out. Doesn't make any sense. But Ripley was on the big screen talking to Damian Priest and with Finn Balor there, talking about they do what they want. We don't take orders. Beyond Ripley talk about, you're going to lose at Money in the Bank, and she will become a two-time women's champion. As Bianca looked on, very disgusted. So we'll see what happens from there. Austin Theory was warming up for the pose now tonight. I even talked about, he's going to be the youngest U.S. champ history in 20 years from now. Everybody will be talking about it. Not like John Cena and whatnot. The rumor is that John Cena, which I've heard about him and Cena on Twitter and stuff. Cena may be going against him when Cena comes back, so we'll see what happens with that. Mustafa Ali went against Chad Gable. Gable won. I know Otis got distracted him. Mustafa, I don't know. Mustafa sometimes like, where's it gonna go with him next? I don't even know. Veer went against Rey Mysterio. Ray immediately tapped out to the cervical clutch. I have not much to say about that. Veer won, so it's not like I was paying that much attention. They moved on after that. But in the main event, and yes, this was the main event show. The main event was a pose now segment, okay? It's like watching Triple H and Scott Steiner in 2003. And I don't want to go back to how bad that feud was, but yes, we had a pose now, okay? And they start posing, and Lashley got bigger applause and whatnot. And you know, what's his name? Theory said you forgot one more pose, and they just hit him with a whole bunch of baby oil and drop kicked him and walked off. And Theory held the U.S. So yeah, that was the main event of the show. People, was a pose now, a pose now. That was your main event. Of oh shit, you could have put Seth and AJ in the main event, but no, we could have a pose now with Lashley and Austin Theory for some reason. That was a waste of time. Even though I was like, this is the last thing of the show. This is the last thing of Raw. I did not really care. We get it. They're big as shit, especially Lashley is way big as shit than Austin Theory, but I did not need to see this and then baby oil being thrown into Lashley's eyes. So this was a waste of time in this main event spot of the show, okay? But that's all I really have to say about this from here at Raw. Other than that, I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodNight890. I'll see you guys then. Peace.